Solidarity.
Hey, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm here in Victoria, joining bus operators from the Cowichan Valley Transit. We're standing here in solidarity with them, and here I'm actually with one of the operators. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Brett. My name is Michael.
Michael, nice to meet you. What Transdev is doing is completely unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
I'm standing here in solidarity because the operators, they deserve to have the basic fundamental rights that should be met, and they're not being met. So Transdev, you should be ashamed upon yourselves of not giving the proper, break time, having washroom breaks. Having the facilities for them to go and use them.
Sharing the facilities with homeless, junkies, drug addicts, that's such and such. And then the lineups are long, and sometimes you can't get in. So all we want is a bathroom of our own, so we can have a decent place to use the washrooms, just like everybody else. And that's all we would like. We don't want them to use that as part of bargaining with us.
Yeah, and the transit strikes actually as of the 8th of September will be 7 months. Right now we're at, how many days are we at?
Stop distracting the
199 days right now. Yeah, and as you hear, we have solidarity going on. And you can just take a look over here behind you there, and you'll see what's happening.
Thank you, Brett.
Hi everyone, I'm standing here in solidarity with one of the operators from the Cowichan Valley Regional Transit System that Transdev has not met their obligations in their contractual agreements that they're supposed to be doing. Fundamental values, they're just not being met, the basic standards. And here with one of the operators I'm joining with, maybe talk a little bit about what's happening here.
So my name is Michelle.
Hi Michelle, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm a bus driver.
And we met on one of the routes, Michelle, that you dropped us off at Walmart one time when we were actually trying to figure out how to get out toward Walmart. Yeah, I remember.
I remember too.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you again here sadly on the picket line, but it's nice to have your support.
Yeah, thank you.
So what we're having a problem with is getting our employer, Transdev, to bargain fairly with us. Since the very beginning, the feeling has been is that they can just offer us whatever they feel like it, and then we'll have no choice but to take whatever they offer. And evidence of that is that they've never wanted to improve their offer after months and months and months and months of just regular bargaining while we were still on work. And then even when we did go on strike finally on February 8th, it was still weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and then they wouldn't budge at all. And then finally, after about 73 days, we voted on a tentative agreement that a government-appointed mediator got the two sides to come closer together. Well, by closer together, it meant in that agreement that the union moved all the way over to where the company was, and then the company moved to our side by 17 cents an hour.
Wow.
So that offer
only 17 cents.
17 cents an hour.
Wow.
So that's
terrible.
The union didn't think that we were going to take that. The union didn't think that was fair. But after 73 days, it was time for our members to vote on something. So that's the only reason it went for a vote. But it got voted down by 93%. And then weeks after that, a special mediator was appointed, where that mediator heard the company's case, heard the union's case, and that mediator came back with a recommended deal, which was essentially what Transdev was offering in the first place. So of course we didn't go with that. I don't think any of us understand why they went so strongly towards the employer, but they did. And then weeks and weeks went by after that, and then the provincial government wanted us to vote on accepting binding arbitration. This is where the company would plead their case to this next type of mediator, union would do the same, and then this person would come up with a deal that we have no choice but to take. So we voted against that by 83% because with binding arbitration, we would lose our vote on it. And with all these things that were given to us unfairly when we did have a vote, what I don't think it would be rational. In my view, it would not be rational to think that a mediator is going to give us a fair deal when they know that we don't get a vote on that at the end of it. So we voted against the binding arbitration, and this is where we are now.
199 days later, and then as of the September the 8th, we'll make it 7 months since Transdev has allowed a strike to continue this long. As long as in BC history, and there's nothing to be proud about, Transdev, there's nothing to be proud about at all.
There's nothing to be proud of.
You know, and I mean, just the fundamental rights and having people being able to get around in their own community, and it's a whole ripple effect all the way out to Victoria too, and Nanaimo and other parts of Vancouver Island. And it's not a good look going on tourists who want to come out to Cowichan either, and also the operators. It's the operators who provide the bus service, but I mean, they drive the bus service, but it's Transdev at the end of the day that's not keeping up to the end of their bargain of actually providing an adequate standard of basic fundamental rights of washrooms. I mean, maybe you can talk about all the washrooms.
The restrooms are shared with the general public when we're out on the road.
What?
When we're back at the depot where we don't actually work, yes, there are washroom facilities, but that's not where we work. We work out on the road with the buses with the general public. And when we need to use the restroom, we need to use a restroom that, say, for example, at London Drugs, or at Superstore, or a country grocer, or someplace else. And those businesses are great for allowing us to have access to them. This is not a criticism on them, but a lot of these public restrooms are also shared by the epidemic of homelessness in our communities. And so people are needing to use them as warm-up places in the wintertime, or just to eat, regardless of what time of year, they'll use it as a place just to clean themselves up.
Right.
Also completely understandable. I get that. But we don't, as bus drivers, we do have schedules to keep, and we just don't have time.
Exactly.
We just don't have that time for that. So we've always thought, over years now, we've been asking for this, to have dedicated restrooms available for us to just be able to scoot in, scoot out, get our buses back on the road. And for years, the company says essentially, trust us, we're working on it. They've never been working on it though.
The always famous line, yeah, trust us, we know best. And like having, like in my view, I mean, as a commuter, not seeing a dedicated washroom, like a facility for the operators to go to, and have like a walk to go to and from. I mean, which to me would make more sense just to have a facility for you guys to go to, rather than having to share a public washroom where maybe there's a long lineup and now you have to wait. Now your schedule for the bus is now out of whack because you're not able to get there in time.
Some of this comes back to it being a contractor that we're working for. Our contractor does not have all of the ability to do just whatever they want in terms of bathrooms, because they don't necessarily own buildings, they don't own facilities. The true employer is the government, though. We are working with this contractor, which is contracted via BC Transit, which in turn also has a contract with the Cowichan Valley Regional District to provide transit service. Now the CVRD does have in their power to put restrooms in, but of course they say that they have nothing to do with it.
Right.
Which, according to their contract, they actually don't have anything to do with it aside from they're paying roughly half of the transit costs, but contractually they don't have anything to do with it. But they should, and if they did, maybe they could help us better get restrooms.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate the time that you take for the just a short little recap of what's going on in Cowichan and what's affecting the operators and the greater community.
Well, we've heard a lot of stories from people that have suffered under this transit strike. Lots of stories from people having to move because where they live they can't get to their work, or where they need to do their shop or do any of their life, so they're having to move to be closer to transit. Or we've heard stories of people that have lost their jobs because they can't get to it.
Huge impact.
We've heard stories of people that can't visit their loved ones. I think you told me a story about that. And it's all a lot of heartbreaking stuff. And it's not fair that the general public has been put in the middle of all this. And I don't know what the solution is when you have transit, which is not considered an essential service, but it is essential for so many people. So how do we handle this collective bargaining situation without always, well, it doesn't always happen, but it happens so often that the general public is affected?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's areas within the North Cowichan, Cowichan Lake. I mean, and you got Shawnigan Lake. I mean, people who live up that area. I mean, they need to get into, say, downtown Duncan.
We have students that live in Duncan that want to go to university in Nanaimo,
Yeah.
which is working for them because there's still the Nanaimo bus.
Yeah. But they can't get to Victoria.
But they
because-
can't get to Victoria because we've got those students too.
Yeah, and you have a lot of medical facilities in Victoria and specialists that people need to get to different diagnostic testings and whatever it may be, and they can't get to Victoria because TransDev is not cooperating. Wow. And you know, it's a whole ripple effect because up and down island, and even people coming as tourists or from the mainland over to Vancouver Island. If they come over and they say there's no transit, they say what's going on. So it's not a good look on TransDev for not providing a service like this. So it's a whole broader range of a ripple effect. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, and I'll join you at the rally on the 30th of August in Duncan.
Downtown Duncan.
Yeah, they have a charter bus that's been reserved to take us down there. So we'll see you at the rally on the 30th, everyone. Take care.